to Would I Lie to You, the show with unvarnished truths and highly polished lies. On Lee Mack's team tonight, a man who spent his whole career sitting next to a comedy genius. So tonight will be a welcome change for him. It's Bob Mortimer. And a comedian and actress who's been described as having a bit of Morecambe and Wise about her. Hopefully they mean Eric's quick wit and not Ernie's short, fat, hairy legs. It's Diane Morgan. And on David Mitchell's team tonight, winner of the Great British Bake Off. She's in such demand that last December she was asked to go to Luton and turn on their Christmas light. It's Nadia Hussain. And he's an actor and comedian who had his own show where he cycled around Northern Ireland. Dressed head to toe in lycra is how I chose to watch it. Michael Smiley. And so we begin with round one, Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them. To make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They've no idea what they'll be faced with. And it's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. Michael is first up. Michael, please reveal all.
OK. I have developed a technique to help me deal with annoying idiots.
Lee, do you want to kick this one off?
Well, first of all, who do you find is an annoying idiot? I mean, what type of people?
Just, you know, the GP. You know, the general public wind me up from time to time.
OK.
And I really want to tell them how I feel. And instead of doing that, I scat.
You do what?
Whoops. I scat.
Can I ask at this point, what is a scat? Do you know what a scat is?
Well, it's like a jazz, the old jazz scat.
It's your basic jazz rap.
So you must make random noises. Can we have a scenario now? Right? Is it
That's a very negative view of music,
isn't it?
Lee.
It's jazz, though.
Fair enough.
So if I'm the doctor, what would annoy you if I was a doctor?
If you kept me waiting for too long and then, say, you come into the reception room and I thought I was next.
Right.
And I went to get up and then you picked somebody else.
Right.
For example.
OK, well, imagine that scenario. OK. So I walk in, you think I'm going to see, and I go, Mr. Brydon, we've got the results of your test.
And I go, oh, for the when you're in the finish,
Pow! It's an STD.
Do you promise me, Mike, you always do it out loud? You don't just do it in your mind?
Always vocalise it.
So
otherwise, if I don't let it out, it might turn into a hemorrhoid.
I must say, that explains a lot.
Well, imagine I've made you angry, OK?
Perhaps he's giving you an STD.
At least have the decency to say I've given it to him via his wife.
Right now, watch him now. Go on, jazz scat him, quick.
I'm going to...
Sababla-boop-bop, sababla-boop-boop-boop-ba.
This is really weird.
When was the last time you had to employ it, Michael?
Oh, I'd say... about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah?
What happened?
The classic thing of the, you know, the tourist walking out of the department store and stopping, and I wasn't paying attention, and I walked up and they were there in front of me, and I went, why did you... and walked round and carried on walking.
What are you thinking, Diane? Does this have the ring of truth for you?
Yeah, it does. He seems really convincing. What do you think?
I don't know. Why are you getting so upset in the first place? Why don't you just be like me and just really lay back?
Just get outside the department store and just stop and enjoy life.
When I've ever left a department store, I'm always sprinting.
It's very bizarre behaviour. If you encountered it, you know? You can't spend your life doing that.
So, what are you going to say?
So we're going to say, you're going to say true, you're going to say lie.
Yep.
I'm going to have to go lie. Can't be true.
You're going to say it's a lie. OK, Michael Smiley, was it the truth or was it a lie?
Oh, ye of little faith. It is the truth.
Yes, it's true. Michael does have a technique to deal with annoying idiots, and it is scatting. Diane, you're next.
I once dumped a boyfriend because I didn't like the way he fell down the stairs.
David's team.
How often had you been pushing him down the stairs?
I just hid his wheelchair.
If you've been affected by any of the issues raised in tonight's show...
How did he fall down the stairs? What was
Very ungainly.
What kind of stairs did he fall down? Where was he?
It was just outside his flat, and there was, like, 5 steps and then another 5 steps. Well, you know, those ones that go sort of in a different direction.
concrete
sort of.
steps?
Yeah, concrete.
So this is nasty. This isn't...
It was a nasty fall, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you finish with it because he was so badly injured he was no use to you?
This was sort of like the last straw, really.
What was the other straws?
There were so many straws.
Tell me one.
He used to fall out of cupboards.
He was quite mean. He was quite a mean person.
Can you walk us through the scenario? What happened?
OK, so we're leaving his flat. He locks the door. He loses his footing on the steps, makes a little scream, and he just fell.
How many stairs did he go down? Because the way you've described it, there were corners. Did he go round the corners?
He's a man, not a slinky.
No, he did. He did.
So how did you react? Did your compassionate side come out?
Well, I asked him if he was all right. And then I sort of made a mental note to cut him out of my life.
So what are you going to say, Nadia? Does it ring true for you?
Did you want to leave him before the fall?
I've been thinking about it.
Yeah, because it was the last straw.
It was the last straw, yeah.
But she only offered up one straw. If I had a resentment against an ex-lover, right, I could give you a short list off the top of my head.
Even that was a bit scatty. Waking up and seeing her in bed with the milkman. Oh.
I think it might be true.
Say
We're
true.
going to go with true.
Say true. Diane, truth or lie?
It is actually true.
Wow. It's true. Diane did dump a boyfriend because of the way he fell down the stairs. Nadia, you're next.
Right. To celebrate her last birthday, Mary Berry and I went 10-pin bowling.
Please, team.
Which one did you go to? I should say Hollywood Bowl.
Hollywood Bowl.
It was the Hollywood Bowl?
Hollywood wasn't with us, though.
Why did you not invite? Did you not get on?
No, not really. No, he's very...
Well, just edit it at that bit and just leave it at that.
Just don't like it. He's,
And also, his head is so orange, you could actually pick it up and throw it down the thing. Put your fingers up his nose and in his mouth and end up accidentally bowling him like that.
He was busy.
Was Mary good at bowling?
She's pretty good. She's quite fast, yeah.
And are you quite good?
No, I'm rubbish. The thing is, I don't understand bowling. All I know is that I need a size 8 ball. That's it. Don't.
And do you go out a lot with Mary in your spare time?
No, because it looked like she let me win, so we can't really publicly
What,
say...
you mean that, the bake-off?
Yeah, it would just look awful, wouldn't it? That look at her having a great time with the winner of...
Did she let you win?
No.
Because it's hard to tell when you're watching on telly. You don't know how dry the cake is.
Yes, she did. I can't bake.
No, it's true, though, isn't it? You never quite know that you have to trust Hollywood and Berry. I mean, they could be just going, say she's the winner, she'll take us bowling. Did you and Mary together get a lot of hassle from other people in the bowling alley?
We picked a good time when it was quite quiet, so...
What time is that?
It's kind of between 4 and 6.
In the morning?
No. Although I think she wouldn't mind a drink at 4. I think she'd happily have a drink at 4 o'clock.
Right, this is all going on record, so Mary Berry drinks at 4 in the morning and she cheated to let you win the cake making.
When you got to the end of the bowling, did you have a meal or did the group just split then?
No, we had... while we were bowling, we had lots of food kind of brought over to us. So we had lots of chips and nachos.
Lots of finger food.
Yeah.
Always makes you think, what's in the hole?
Yeah, so you kind of...
So, what are you thinking, Lee? Is that the truth?
For what it's worth, I'm saying no, lie.
It's a lie.
What are you thinking, Diane?
I think it's true.
Why do you think it's true?
It's quite a dull story.
That is your trailer. So you're saying a lie, Diane's saying it's true. So this time I'm going to go with Diane and say...
You're going to say it's true?
It's true, yeah.
OK, Nadia, truth or lie?
It's a lie.
Well done. Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. This week, each of Lee's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest. And it's up to David's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Michael. Right, we'll start with Diane. What is Michael to you?
This is Michael. I once punched him in the face because I thought he was a ghost.
Bob, how do you know Michael?
This is Michael, and after cutting his hair, I got a job on a campsite as a hairdresser.
And finally, Lee, what's your relationship with Michael?
This is Michael. Together, we helped free a donkey that had trapped itself in the cubicle of a seaside toilet.
So there we have it. Is Michael Diane's ghostly guy, Bob's campsite client, or Lee's donkey do-gooder? David's team, where would you like to start?
Well, Diane, where were you when you mistook Michael for a ghost?
I was backstage at the Theatre Royal Bath.
And what were you doing there?
I was in a play.
What happened? You were in the dark, waiting to go on the wings?
I was in the wings.
In the wings, waiting to go on?
And I'd been told a ghost story about this.
Where
that the
was
Theatre Royal
Michael?
Bath is haunted.
What was the story?
Well, that the theatre was haunted. They said that about once a week, this ghost, a man with white hair, would float around the theatre.
So you heard
So
that
then
story.
I'm standing in the wings.
Uh-huh.
I turn round and I see... Well, I know it's Michael now, but at the time I thought it was the ghost because of the hair. And I sort of inadvertently punched him.
And what was he wearing?
He was wearing quite dark clothes because he was, you know, working backstage. He looked like he was kneeling on some sort of prop. So he looked like he didn't have any legs. That's what made me think, oh, my God, it's the ghost.
So he sort of sidled up and knelt on something.
Yeah.
I have to say, I have slightly less sympathy for Michael now. I realise that what he did is he sort of crept up behind you and knelt there. That is slightly creepy behaviour, isn't it? Yeah.
I did ask him why he was kneeling on the bookcase.
Yeah. But I imagine at that point he was also asking you why you hit him.
Yeah.
Which
Did
presumably...
he answer you? Was he able to say why he was kneeling on there?
Yeah. He said there weren't any chairs backstage.
All right, who next?
OK, Bob, you cut Michael's hair, and this was on a campsite.
Yeah.
How did you come to... Because you're not a hairdresser, are you?
I'm a hairdresser, David.
You previously worked as a hairdresser, had you?
I'm from a family, I'm the youngest of 4 boys. And in my family tradition is that the eldest is a priest, then a lawyer, then a teacher, and then a hairdresser. So it fell to me to take up the scissors. I was given my first set of scissors when I was 13.
I actually had a pair of scissors when I was younger than that.
Were you the 4th child?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was more for, you know, cutting out bits of coloured paper.
Oh, no, these were Japanese steels. These were Yasakis.
Right, OK. So you were given these hairdressing scissors at the age of 14?
Yes.
Had you undergone any further training or just were encouraged to experiment?
Well, here's the rub. Because Michael, or Mickey, as you know, Mickey the drink, he's...
Why is he called Mickey the Drink?
Anyway, so, he was one of the first people that I ever gave a haircut to as a young boy. He was one of my friends. And then Fast forward to 1982. I go to the World Cup in Spain. There was Michael, Billy the Pigeon... Gentle Kenneth.
Billy the Pigeon?
Gentle Kenneth, yeah.
Why is he called Billy the Pigeon? Oh, he's found his way home.
No, he's a pigeon. Because he had, like, a fat chest. We all went to Spain. We were on the campsite for the England fans. I, as always, gave Mickey his haircut. And the one-man army from Nottingham, the Nottingham Forest fan, caused all the trouble out there. He demanded that he had a haircut.
What trouble did he cause out there?
Well, for example, he rushed to the cafe that we're in and threw a coin like that. Could have damaged anyone. Luckily, it went straight in the slot machine and won the jackpot. I'm just going on here. It was really rather simple story. So I cut Mickey's hair I'd done since he was 13.
So you'd cut his hair regularly. You first did when he was 13.
When he was 13, one of the first people's
his regular hairdresser.
No, that would be a lie, but I would always cut Mickey's hair.
Yeah.
I was seen doing this, and before you knew it, over the course of the next 10 days, I probably did 50 to 60 haircuts.
And were you paid for these haircuts?
I probably was, but in kind.
Right.
Oh,
Because... The only thing any of these English fans could say was huevo solo, and that got you an egg sandwich. And I seem to remember that people, because I was cutting hair, it was always in the morning, that someone would bring me, oh, mate, you're busy cutting hair, you have a huevo solo.
So you were paid in egg sandwiches?
I think maybe I was.
And you did 50 haircuts over, what, how many days?
I think that was probably 8 days.
So you're having 50 egg sandwiches over 8 days?
I mean, I'm interested in the haircuts themselves.
Yeah.
Was there a signature style? It was the early 80s. Were there mullets going on? I mean, what was the look?
It was a feathered look I was expert at. It was called, where I'm from, it's called the foffer. You'll probably think of it like Rod Stewart.
Oh, it's a lovely look.
Layered at the bottom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you still cut hair now?
Oh, not so much now, Robert. To be honest with you, I can't do the new cuts.
What? Did you hear that? I can't do the new cuts.
I can't do the new cuts.
Right, what about Lee and the donkey?
So, Lee, tell us your story.
I was at the Seaside. I went to...
Whereabouts?
Blackpool.
When was this?
This was last year, believe it or not.
Last year?
Only last year, since the last series, and why it hasn't cropped up so far.
Fair enough.
On holiday, or were you summer seasoning?
Summer seasoning?
Doing a summer season?
I'm not a juggler.
Or were you...
They have comedians in Blackpool.
Or were you giving a keynote speech at the Conservative Party conference?
Or I was doing a summer season. No, I was on a little weekend break. I decided to take my family to Blackpool.
What sort of loos are these?
Public toilets on Blackpool seafront.
So you go into the loo...
I go into the loo to use the toilet.
Where's the donkey?
The donkey is in the cubicle. The door was shut, and I did that thing where I looked underneath, and I just saw... I said, you belong, mate.
Which way was the donkey?
Which way?
Which way in was he?
He was actually facing outwards, so the bottom was stuck in the cubicle and the head was sticking out the front.
So he reversed in, did he?
No, he didn't reverse in. The toilet reversed up to him. Yes, he reversed in. OK. It turns out someone that's witnessed this happen...
Yeah.
He'd gone into the toilet...
Who is this person who witnessed this happen?
It was some guy was in there.
Some other guy, not Michael.
There's a guy...
And he goes, I tell you what's happened here.
Yeah.
This donkey, and what did he say?
I walked in and I went, blimey, there's a donkey stuck in the cubicle. And the man told us, this donkey has wandered in from the beach, you know, where they do the donkey rides, and then someone had used the hand dryer, and he's freaked, ran round, got disorientated, and then reversed into a cubicle. And at this point now, Michael was in there, because the other fellow went out. He said, I'm not dealing with it, I've got to go.
I'm just the one that's here to explain the scenario.
He said, the guy said, I'm not dealing with this one, I've just got a leopard out of the sink. You can do this one. So he goes out, and the donkey's back end was literally stuck inside the cubicle.
How did you get the donkey out?
I pulled the reins as hard as he had reins. That's why we knew he wasn't a wild donkey. There's a lot of wild donkeys. I'm pulling at his reins like that, and Michael sort of tried to lean over the back, and he had his beach towel with him, and gently gave him a little, I wouldn't say a whip, that would be hard, but enough to make him try and come forward. But it just didn't work. We could not get this donkey out.
Right.
Died.
Oops, fell off.
Join us next week on What Action.
At least it was the right way in to use the loo.
Yes, perhaps he was using the loo. That's why he wouldn't come out. He needed the loo.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought of that. I say donkey, I mean fat bloke. I remember I was a fat bloke and I wanted to use the donkey. And he had one of those funny little Blackpool masks on of a donkey. It's all coming back to me now. I got arrested. I did 3 months in Parkhurst. The story.
He's in 3 months in Parkhurst. But since we last did the show.
Michael is a prison officer.
So there we are. We need an answer. David's team. Is Michael Diane's ghostly guy, Bob's campsite client, or Lee's donkey do-gooder?
Well, what do you think?
See, when I heard Diane's story, I thought that was a lie, and then I heard Bob's story, and, Lee's story, and then suddenly Diane's story seems a little bit more real.
I think it's Bob. I think giving your man a haircut is the truth.
50 haircuts in a week, paid in egg sandwiches.
I don't know that you can do that hairstyle with one pair of scissors. I'm from a family of hairdressers, and I just don't think you can do Rod Stewart.
From a family of
one pair
hairdressers.
scissors,
Did you have more than one pair of scissors with you?
No, well, my response to that, Nadia, is a family of not very good hairdressers. two sets of scissors?
He looks round about Bob's age.
And Bob's haircut?
Yeah.
Can I just say, one final chance? He looks to me like a man who hangs round gentlemen's toilets.
I'm going with Diane.
Yeah.
Going with Diane. We're settling. David's
Diane.
team are saying that it is Diane. Michael, would you please confirm your true identity?
My name is Michael, and Bob gave me a haircut and a cancel.
We can actually see photographic evidence of Bob cutting Michael's hair. There they are.
Oh, my gosh.
It really did happen. Thank you very much, Michael. Which brings us to our final round, quickfire lies, and we start with... It is Lee.
Possession.
Right, under the desk is a box. So pop it on the desk very carefully, like that.
I've recently got into baking, and here's a cake I made yesterday, especially for David.
Oh. Oh, it ain't bad, is it?
Let's have a proper look at that cake. Wow. That is uncanny.
It's got all of my thousands of teeth.
Why don't we see how close a depiction it is? We have the technology to do what they call split screen. Look down camera one. OK, so talk us through what's gone into making that cake.
Well, what do you want to know first?
How you made it.
OK. Right, first of all, I made the cake bit. Let's call it the cake bit, right? I made the sponge. That's the word. I made the sponge
How
first.
do you make a sponge?
How don't you make a sponge?
How do you make a sponge?
Now, let's do how don't you make a sponge. OK, what you do is you get your eggs and your flour.
Of course.
And then...
How many eggs for a sponge of that size?
I would say for that size, the bottom bit...
Or
David's
the other bit,
bottom.
really, they're the same size.
Oh, no, they're not. They're not, David. Your bottom is a lot bigger than your top are. For the bottom, I use about... I would say I use about 6 eggs for the bottom.
Nadia, 6 eggs for the bottom, yes or no?
12 eggs altogether.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I didn't say how I'd made the top sponge.
What temperature did you bake it at?
The room was room temperature at the time. I preheated the oven at 180 degrees because it's fan-assisted. So I knocked off 10% for that.
Oh, right.
Does that sound right, Nadia?
Almost convincing.
Yeah.
Wow.
You knocked off 10%.
You always do knock off 10% if it's fan-assisted. I'm just going to have a little lick of your moustache, David.
I hate to say it, Lee, but you've slightly spoilt my present.
Wait till you eat it and you pass out and wake up in my cellar.
So, 6 eggs per sponge.
No. 3 eggs per top half and bottom half.
OK.
All right.
How long do you leave that sponge in?
I would say... What I tend to do is I don't do it the traditional way of timing it. I keep a good eye on it, and I wait till it's sponge-like and take it out.
OK.
It takes about... I'd say it took me about...
Half an hour,
40
Nadia?
minutes.
I mean, unless you bake, you don't know when you've got a fan-assisted oven.
It's difficult, isn't it?
When you've got a fan-assisted... He seems to know. He seems to know that bit of... You seem to know that bit of information, which is... Not everyone knows that.
Well, people are stupid.
Yeah, well...
Let's go to the centrepiece, the crowning triumph, which is the wonderful visual depiction of David. How did you approach bringing him so vividly to life?
Well...
Talk us through that.
Well, I started off... I tried to do you.
Here we go.
But that came out very bitter.
Lee, even though you violated David's face, who would like to try a piece?
I'll try some.
All right. Now, what flavour is it, just so we know when we taste it?
It's a sort of... It's an orangey citrus invention.
OK, here we go. Here's the first slice. This is going to Diane.
Yes.
There you go.
And then Bob.
How would you describe the flavour, Diane? I won't be insulted.
It's very dry.
Well, it wasn't dry when I made it last week. David, would you like a slice of your own head?
Yeah,
Nadia, you be the judge.
Listen, don't hold back. I can take it.
You can all have this. It looks like cake and it tastes like cake.
But it acts like a carpet.
It's dry enough for me to believe that you might have made it.
Exactly.
What are you thinking, Michael?
I think that he's been doing a bit of baking. I think he's made it.
I think it's bad enough for him to have baked it.
Whoa!
And Michael, you also think...
Unfair.
You also think he did it?
I think he did.
Yeah, I think maybe...
This is cutting your eye.
You know, often on this show you say I don't see things from your point of view. Well, let's... Is everyone still here?
David, it's time to decide. Was it the truth or was it a lie?
Well, we think it could be true.
You're going to say true?
Yeah.
OK, Lee.
I'm going to keep these and take them home. And wear them when I make love to my wife.
All right. Was it the truth or was it a lie?
Well, actually, it is, in fact, a lie.
Oh, that noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show, and I can reveal that David's team have won by 3 points to 2. Thanks for watching. Good night. The show with tall tales and tantalising truths. On David Mitchell's team tonight, a heavyweight boxer who Lee was telling me earlier he could definitely take in a fight. It's David Hay. And a comedian and former maths teacher. When he goes to a gig 200 miles away on a train travelling at 70 miles per hour, he knows exactly what time he'll get there. It's Ramesh Ranganathan. And on Lee Mack's team tonight, a musician who once had 300 girls faint at his gig. That happened to me once. The St. John's ambulance chalked it up to boredom and poor ventilation. It's Martin Kemp. And the hottest thing to come out of the Great British Bake Off since a burnt brioche in Bread Week, it's Mel Gedroych. So we begin with round one, Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them. To make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They've no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction. David Hay, you're first up tonight.
I refuse to play my son at tennis since he beat me at the age of 5.
How old is he now?
He's 8 now.
So you're not playing for 3 years?
No.
Because you really don't like losing?
I hate losing, particularly to someone so small and who laughs hysterically as they're doing it.
I've seen some of your opponents. You don't mind boxing them.
I take him to the park sometimes for him to play other adults and take great pleasure in watching him beat them. That's like one of my favourite things to do, just to go and say, I bet you can't beat him. And I'm like, OK, how much? I'm like, how much do you want to bet? And, yeah,
this is lovely, so you're sort of pimping him out as a betting...
He gets 10% of it.
Yeah.
Has he got, like, Lego and stuff? I mean...
No, he's very active. He had a lesson with Boris Becker the other day. He was his coach. Yeah.
Were you watching?
Boris? Yeah,
that must be terrifying for Boris Becker.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing really well, really good. Please don't kill me.
What's your boy's name?
Cassius.
Cassius? So he's Cassius Hay?
Yeah.
I just want to know, where did you get that idea?
With my kids, I was one of those fathers that everything they did, I let them win. You know, none of that.
There's no fun in that, though, mate. Like, what's really enjoyable is really crushing them. Like, if I was you, I would have gone away and had secret tennis lessons, and then casually just gone, do you want to have a little knockabout? Then slam!
Where's Boris now?
Did you have to pay Boris, or was it a favour?
No, it was a favour. He heard through the grapevine about Cassius being a
One day,
player.
you know you're going to get the call, don't you? Hello, David. Perhaps you remember what I did for your son. Now it's payback time. I'm stuck in a cupboard. Could happen. So what are you going to say, Lee? Truth or lie?
What do we think?
What do you think, Martin?
I think it's true because...
You're not listening, are you? You're undressing him.
Lee, I'm sorry. She's looking straight past you. Mel, have some sympathy for the man.
Now
He's going to sit there all
I
night.
know how Tony Hadley feels.
So, what are you going to say?
The Boris Becker seems a bit extraordinary for me.
Mel is saying lie, Martin
I'm
can.
saying true.
You're saying true?
Lie. We'll go with Martin and say...
You're going to say it's true. OK, David, truth or lie?
It's true.
Wow. It's true. David does refuse to play his son at tennis since he beat him aged 5. Mel, it's your turn.
When I was a child, the only thing that would get me to sleep was my parents reading me the takeaway menu from our local Chinese restaurant, the Flying Chopstick.
David's team.
At what age was this?
I'd say it kicked off at 7 and probably lasted about a year.
Was it read out in any type of accent?
No. Well, my dad...
Would you say any type?
Any type.
There's one specific one.
Yeah, exactly.
If they read it in a French accent, it'd be nice. This is quite surreal, isn't it? But I'll go with it.
My dad is half Polish, half Lithuanian, so it had a sort of Eastern European tinge.
Could you give us a kind of a little rendition?
So it would be something along the lines of...
This will be interesting.
It would be something...
We'll just separate ourselves from the person doing the routine.
You don't want to be in the clip when it comes on the news, do you?
So Dad would say, for example, black bean with chop suey, something like that. Red bean.
Was your dad the fella from Sesame Street? One pork balls. Two lovely pork balls.
You know, lychee for the end of the menu.
Lychee, that's the
Yeah,
one.
I know that.
Lychees.
The flying chops, they just serve a single lychee, don't they?
Lychees. It was the staple. It was the 70s. Things were a little bit sparse then. It was Wilson's, you know, things are hard. I can't remember his speech, but you know the one I mean. Things are terrible.
Wilson's things are hard.
Wilson's things are...
Harold Wilson, things are hard.
We've only got lychees. Things are hard. We've only got lychees, guys.
How far into the menu would you drift off?
That's a very good question.
That's why I asked it.
Yeah. My eye would be sort of fully open, like that. A little bit like...
Just one eye open.
One eye open, always looking, always just checking. And then I would say, by the end of the first page, the eye would be down.
So you used to go to
about a
sleep
page.
half a face at a time?
Can you remember the first time that this happened?
It would have been... I think it was on a Friday night. Mum and Dad would have been entertaining, and I laughed a lot and then fell asleep.
So what do you think, then? David Hay, how is this striking you?
The detail, the fact that she knew straight away what day it was on a Friday night. I don't remember what day it was when you were 7.
Oh, I
can't
did.
remember last week. I get punched in the head for a living, but...
But David, they did it a lot. They did it a lot.
Repetition, eh?
Repetition. So I knew the menu back to front because they had to do it so
Well,
often.
that's just Chinese. It would be that way, no, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I agree.
Ramesh, what are you thinking?
I think it... I don't buy it.
David, actually, you've got two Davids. We'll call you the Haymaker and the Librarian. What are you thinking, David?
Well, I think I don't believe it.
You realise, I like the system you've got there. We're going to call you the Haymaker and the Librarian. So what do you think, David?
I don't think she's at the age of 7.
Yeah.
I think a 7-year-old child will require a coherent story.
All right, so you're saying it's a lie. Well, let's find out. Mel, truth or lie?
The story was, in fact, a lie!
Our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of David's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest. And it's up to Lee's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Carlos. David Hay, what is Carlos to you?
This is Carlos, and I accidentally knocked him down in a boxing demonstration.
Ramesh, how do you know Carlos?
This is Carlos. I once broke my strict vegan diet because I didn't want to offend him.
Finally, David Mitchell, your relationship with Carlos.
This is Carlos. He came to my house to deliver a pizza, but we ended up building a bed together.
So there we have it. Is Carlos David Hay's boxing buddy, Ramesh's diet destroyer, or David Mitchell's DIY delivery guy? Lee, where do you want to start?
David Hay, the Haymaker. Where was this demonstration?
It was at my gym.
Is it your gym?
At my gym.
And you were demonstrating as...
I was demonstrating. He works in a school that I used to go to when I was a kid, and the kids came to the gym to do a boxing demonstration.
Oh, I see.
And he
Carlos
got in the
is
ring, and I do this thing where I let people punch me and I don't punch them back, and they get points if they can hit me in the face because I'm really quick.
OK.
And as I was doing that, I kind of put my arm out,
Jabbed.
and I don't normally hit people. I'm quite controlled, but this time it just sort of hit him, and he wasn't.
Did you have
he
to-
wasn't knocked out like asleep, but he was knocked on the floor.
And what did the kids do?
He was laughing their head. I thought it was the funniest thing.
Really? So basically, you have said to this poor man, come in the ring, hit me in the face, and you've gone, honestly, I won't
promise him I won't hit you back.
And you hit him back.
Yeah, I've done it hundreds of times and never hurt anybody.
For those who... I mean, I'm a bit of an authority, but for those who don't know much about boxing, could you show us? Could you just demonstrate what sparring is?
Imagine you're you and say Rob is Carlos.
Well, no, I can't. I can't.
You can do it. You can do it.
No, I can't.
Come on,
I can't do it. You are tall. I'm 6'1". You must be what? Okay, nothing sudden.
OK, what we were doing, we had the gloves on, he was punching me, and I'm sort of blocking, so he's trying to hit me.
So shall I try and hit you?
Yeah, he's trying to hit me.
I can try and hit you. What are you going to do back to me? That's fine. Oh! I had you then, didn't I? Watch that one, watch that one. Ooh. Oh, he's getting ready to hit me, I can feel it. I can feel it. Can I give you one in the stomach? Ready? Oh. Ready? Here we go, ready? Oh! You're doing the gentle one back. No, I don't want a gentle one back. No, I get... No. It was very nice, thank you very much.
As I said, I get back what I give again.
That was all right, who do you want to ask next?
OK, so, well, Romesh, you broke your vegan diet to be polite.
Exactly.
Yes.
OK, so where were you?
I was in a restaurant.
And who is this gentleman to you?
He worked at the restaurant.
Okay.
What was it called, do you remember?
Yes, it was called Benito's Hat.
And what did you order, Romesh?
I went for a burrito, a vegetable burrito.
So it's Mexican food?
It is Mexican, yes,
Mexican,
Martin. I didn't know you were a connoisseur.
Well, what was it he made you eat?
Well, I was sitting eating my burrito on my own. It was quite a dark scene. And then he came over and he said, you're the comedian, aren't you? We said, you're a comedian. I said, yes, I am. And he said, we've got this for you.
What was it?
It was like this sort of... I don't know what it's called. It was like a dessert, but it looked like it had more dairy in it than I'd ever seen in my life before.
And dairy is not good for a vegan. They don't like dairy.
It invalidates... You lose the badge.
Are there any vegans on the panel? I'm not a vegan.
I'm not a vegan.
Not a vegan. So
Yeah.
you're a vegan. David Hay is a vegan.
I eat a plant-based diet.
A plant-based diet? I picture you like a brontosaurus pulling trees up by their roots, just grabbing at the tall leaves.
Brontosauruses are vegans.
I know, that's why I said it.
Yeah, they don't.
Shall we change your blanket?
So he gives it's a free dish because he likes your comedy. And
Yeah, so he says, oh, I've got this for you.
Yeah.
And I just sort of felt under pressure, you know. He was like, he'd done a really nice thing. They'd cut the slice out of somewhere and they decorated it and they'd done a little thing with it. And I just thought, I don't want to go, you've offended my sensibility.
So how did it taste? I mean...
Incredible.
It was good?
It was one of the best things I've eaten in a long time.
I was vegetarian for about 10 years, and I always said, nope, I'm not going to eat that. I'm vegetarian.
Yes, ordinarily, if you were at a party or
Had you
something,
been
somebody
drinking?
says, do you want this? No, I'd not been drinking, no, but...
You could use that as an excuse.
Is that the type of vegan you are? 3 o'clock in the morning, eating a kebab? Just, I'm drunk, mate.
What about...
It's called David.
Little David.
Oh, the bed story.
Right, so
He called for pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Carlos
Yeah.
came round delivering the pizza and they ended up building a bed together.
Right. Well, what...
Was the bed a flat
Come
pack then? Is
It
that how
was a
came?
flat pack, yeah.
Was it for yourself?
No,
Who was it for?
it was for my parents.
Had they not visited before?
Well, they had visited before, but
They would sleep standing up.
They'd not stayed the night before in that house.
We wanted to keep things on a formal standing.
Do you think David orders pizzas? Can't imagine him
It's
ordering
amazing the things that people won't believe of me.
Can't imagine him ordering
Orders
a pizza.
pizzas?
Yes.
Well, what else?
Does.
Well, what else would he do in a situation where he needs food quickly?
I think he'd order some sort of Roman feast or a... I don't know, or a Tudor meal.
I agree, but those sort of shops have been closing down at quite a speed recently.
I can't imagine him just ordering...
Tudor meal? I could just speed dial Tudor meal. I'll just have the Tudor meal number 4. With extra wrens.
So he knocks on the door. When he knocks on the door, did you have a plan that when the pizza man comes round, you're going to ask him, or was it a spur of the moment thought?
Well, the body of the last pizza man was beginning to smell.
You murder one pizza man, then you have to murder another pizza man. That's the domino effect.
The bed was...
And you've been trying to make this bed on your own.
I had.
Which bit had you got to?
Well, broadly, I'd managed to get the sort of side bits in the bed head bit.
Right.
And some of the kind of slats were more or less in place.
Let's be honest, you've almost finished then.
You put the slats on already, but you still haven't done the bottom.
Yeah, I couldn't...
You didn't do the slats at the end.
Put the slats on before you attached the two side bits to
What else had you done? Had you also made the bed and plumped the pillows? I mean, how far had you gone in the wrong order of all this?
So the doorbell goes, here's your pizza. Oh, it's you. Hello, mate. Here it is, extra pepperami. There's the money. You give him the tip.
I haven't given him the tip yet. The tip happens later. I give him a much...
Oh, my God, I want you to come to my bedroom and then... there may be a tip in it for you.
No, I come to the door quite hassled. I think possibly holding 2 or 3 random pieces of wood.
Yes.
And I say, I'm terribly sorry, but could you just help me with something? For a minute. I'm just trying to assemble a piece of furniture.
Right.
And I just need someone to hold the other end while I shove something in. I can't vouch that those were my exact words.
All right, well, we need an answer.
Yeah.
Well, we need to rule one out. That would help.
Could just rule one in, and then that's quicker.
I would rule little David out.
Definitely.
Rule little David out.
Yeah.
Well, then we're left with the haymaker, let's say brutalising the teachers in a one-sided fight, or Romesh. I mean this in the nicest possible way, Romesh, but your face doesn't scream accommodating.
So what's it going to be, Lee? Time to make a choice.
We want to go with David.
The haymaker.
Haymaker.
We'll go with the haymaker.
You're going with the haymaker. Big David Hay, you're saying it's a teacher. You accidentally knocked him down on the floor. OK.
Yeah.
Carlos, would you please reveal your true identity?
Hello, my name is Carlos, and I made Romesh break his vegan diet.
Yes, Carlos is Romesh's diet destroyer. Thank you very much, Carlos. Which brings us to our final round, quick-fire lies, and we start with... It's Lee.
In the last year, I have broken not 1, but 2 world records.
David's team.
World records.
You heard it right.
What are they?
It's a darts world records, actually. The one sport I actually am not bad at.
Are they both in darts?
Both, yes. Both records are in darts. Both
And
world
what
records.
are the 2 records in darts that you now hold?
I am the world record holder for the most amount of number 2s in a minute. And I'm also the world record holder for the most bullseyes in a minute. But not just the bullseyes, the green bit, the outer 25 as well.
Right, so the most number 2s in a minute.
Correct.
And the most bullseyes. So, how many is it?
That's a good question. I can't remember. The number 2s, it's 18 number 2s in a minute.
Yeah.
And the bullseyes, or 25s, was 12.
Did you get an official, like, records adjudicator to come in?
The Guinness Book of Records were there.
You're saying that you're in the Guinness Book of Records?
I'm going to be in the Guinness Book of Records this year, yeah.
How was it organised?
It was actually... a television programme got involved, so they booked the people.
What television programme?
Not that programme that hasn't been on for 20-odd years.
Cheryl Baker.
The new one called Officially Amazing, which is the children's version on children's television. Do you watch children's television?
I think the one you were talking about was also for children. It's just you were a child then.
Oh, yeah.
And did they televise both of your records? Did they think, God, that 2s one was good?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at that, vary that up by having him aim at the bullseye. Did they think that was...
They told me in advance I could have a go at both world records. I think, to be fair, the first world record, the most number 2s in a minute, was a world record that had never been attempted before.
Oh, so there's no current, there's no record to beat.
Correct.
So one would have won it, technically.
No, because they set a bar. They say you have to be at least a minimum standard. It's not like your opponents. You have to... you have to...
No, don't anger him. Don't anger him.
So, yeah, you have to reach a minimum standard, and I think the minimum standard for that, they said, was 14. But the bulls and 25s was an official record that did exist.
What was the previous record?
11.
And you got?
12.
What are you thinking, David?
Well, what do you think?
It sounds quite plausible. There's loads of those kids' shows when they do those silly challenges
No.
and stuff.
No. Don't undermine my moment. This wasn't a silly little challenge. This was the world record.
Yeah, but as you say, it was a world record. It was the
first one,
the
but the
first
other one. But
someone's got to be the first one.
No, but the other one
Someone was there.
The other one wasn't. Don't make me come over there, David. The other one already existed and was 11 by an American.
Romesh.
I don't buy it. I think that they wouldn't let you go for 2 records in a show. Officially amazing, I've never heard of. That isn't officially amazing. It's not official, or is it amazing?
It might be. If
it was a show called Vaguely Interesting, then I'm not...
OK, we'll say lie.
You're going to say lie? OK. Lee, world record holder, twice. Truth or lie?
It is, in fact, true.
Yes, it's true. Lee has broken 2 world records, and to prove it, here's a clip of Lee doing just that.
Time is running out. Come on, Lee. Get those darts in. A perfect set.
In that attempt, you achieved 12, which is a brand new Guinness World Records title.
Yes, well done, Lee, world record holder. Next, it's Martin.
I was once hospitalised after fooling around with a blow-up toy.
David's team.
What was the blow-up toy?
Well, it was a Lilo.
A Lilo? Just a normal flat Lilo?
It was a normal flat Lilo, but it had a bit sticking out of it that held your margarita, like a cup holder thing on the edge.
Where were you? Club Tropicana?
Well, somewhere very similar to that, Ibiza. And I was in the swimming pool, and you know when you put your arms up here on your Lilo as you're laying down?
Yes.
And someone came up underneath my Lilo, pushed it over, and my arm completely goes out of socket. It's completely disjointed, sticking out like an L shape.
What happened to your margarita?
Spilt.
How long did it take for your arm to heal up afterwards to get back to normal?
Great question, David.
Well, I get out and I'm on the side of the swimming pool, and I'm in agony, screaming.
Yeah. All the other tourists were trying to name which tune it was that you were singing.
Yeah. So anyway, my wife calls the ambulance. Now, the ambulance that comes is one of those really small ones that they have in Spain. So when they try to put me in the ambulance, I don't go in properly.
How small was it?
Because my arm's sticking out and I can't get through the door. So the guy gets out the ambulance man, and I'm screaming, and my wife is saying, give him something for the pain, give him something for the pain. So the guy takes off his T-shirt, rolls it up into a little ball, puts it in my mouth and says, bite on this. And I had to bite on his sweaty T-shirt to stop the pain.
Did that help with the pain?
Well, it just stopped the screaming.
How long did it take to heal up? I asked the question again as you swerved it.
I had to go to hospital.
I don't understand that, but after you went to hospital, how long did it take for your arm to get back to normal? So it was fine?
I had an operation.
My client does not want to answer the question.
I'll tell you what happened. I was in there, and, you know...
Tell you what, there's nothing wrong with your knees.
I had to have the tendons sewn together.
Yeah.
And you know when they wheel you into that recovery room?
Yeah.
And as you wake up, as you wake up from kind of anaesthetic, you get really cold, don't you?
Yes.
So I'm shivering away in bed, and I'm saying to the people in the recovery room, oh, I'm freezing. All of a sudden, this nurse, who was huge, big woman, hears me saying that across the other side of the room, and she is hears me saying across the other side of the room that I'm cold. Next minute, she comes bounding across, lays on top of me, saying, I'll keep him warm, I'll keep him warm. It was like a terrifying version of Baywatch.
What kind of... What kind of unorthodox medical procedures are going on here?
So how long did it take you to recover from this?
I'm just thinking, Martin, that if we wanted to bring this to life, to visualise it...
Shall I be the nurse?
Mel, you could be the nurse.
Can I just say, I am only half dressed. I can't reveal day wear.
Even to lie on Martin Kemp?
Yeah, go on. I'll reveal day wear.
So you're lying down.
So I'm lying down in
Watch
bed.
your shoulder now, Martin.
I'm lying down in bed.
Right.
Saying...
Yes?
I'm freezing! I'm freezing!
Very cold. He's very, very cold. Please.
I'm freezing!
We need a nurse. We need a nurse. We need a nurse. We need a nurse. Take your chance, woman. Get on. Martin, are you all right?
Yeah.
Are you all right?
So it was kind of like that. But I'll tell you something, it was the last Lilo I've ever gotten.
So how long did it take to recover from this injury?
Did that really happen?
Now then, what are you thinking? Truth or lie?
I think it's pure fallacy.
Lie.
I see for sure he's lying.
Oh, yeah.
Lie. We'll say lie.
You're going to say it's a lie. Martin Kemp, lie or truth? I think he means it's true.
What is that? I thought you were expecting Mel to press your nipple and it would come up.
This much is true.
That noise signals time is up, and it's the end of the show. I can reveal that Lee's team have won by 3 points to 2. Thanks for watching. Good night.